Welcome to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Dr. Wayne L. Moore. How are you?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. You're looking great, my friend.
Thank you. Likewise. Always a pleasure to host with you.
It is a pleasure to host with you and also to be in your company.
Well, thank you. And certainly we thank God and so many great people who are listening and watching. And want to thank all of our viewers and we want to thank our sponsors.
We do. Can I do that right now, Pastor? Lee Cossell and Crawley has sponsored us and still with us. And we have the Fervent Care Christian Academy. Marion County Public Health Department is doing a great work in the epicenter here in Marion County. Owls Modern Clothing and Shoes. If you need to get cleaned up real good, go to Owls Modern Clothes and Shoes. Martin University, make sure if you need an education, that's a place to go. Not only that, but we have His Place Eatery. You can get some chicken and waffles over there. Hope you can check them out as well. And North Side Window and Gutter Cleaning. And this is the time of the year to have them do your gutters.
Yeah, and incidentally, we're on their schedule for December church.
So that's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Yeah. Oh, and also for those of you who are watching, if you would like to get the information that you're getting today when the show is over, as well as other shows that you might have missed, you can go to YouTube, WHMB TV YouTube channel, and enjoy all the great information there. For this past several years, we've been doing this, and we encourage you to go to Facebook.
You can like us there. Yeah, Doc, you can like us on Facebook. We're there doing what we can to bring information to the city of Indianapolis and surrounding areas, central Indiana as well.
Absolutely. And speaking of Indiana, we've got a great guest who'll be joining us in a few moments, Steve Sanner, Jiffy Lube.
Yeah. Yeah, looking forward to hearing from him.
Yeah. And, Dr. Moore, I meet a lot of people who talk about that video we did last time. And there are a lot of folk that's been going over to Jiffy Lube to get their services.
Yeah, and you know what? You are not the only person that has experienced that. Sometimes I'm out in the community, people say, I saw you on the Jiffy Lube. I saw you on the Jiffy Lube. I saw y'all Real People, Real Voices on Jiffy Lube. I said, well, thank you. That's what it's all about. Steve's a great friend of ours, and we want to do whatever we can to let people know that Jiffy Lube is right here in town, and we need to keep doing that.
Absolutely, and very much into the arts. We'll be back to tell more about that after these messages. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices, and we are excited to be joined by Steve Sanner on this show on today. Thank you for joining us again.
It's great to be back with you guys.
Happy to have you, Steve.
How are you guys holding up through the last time we're all together in the studio, and now we're surviving COVID-19. How's Jiffy Lube doing?
It's been an interesting year. I think in many ways, we've been at this for 35 years, and we've never had a year quite like this. I think we felt like we had the business maybe a little bit on autopilot the last few years. We have great people; they were doing a great job. Everything was moving smoothly. We were happy with the results, and then we had this COVID nightmare come to visit us, and in some ways, it was invigorating. I mean, it really got me back to my entrepreneurial brainstorming sessions every day. How do we deal with this? How do we react? How do we stay open? So initially, we decided that we did qualify as essential business because we help people keep their cars running so that they can get where they need to go. So we kept out of our 40. Back then we had 48 stores. We kept all but 5 of them open. There were 5 that we closed down for about a month, just because business had gotten very slow and they were very close to other stores. I will tell you that the first week of March was the single busiest week we've ever had in the business, 35 years. And by the third week of March, we were down 60%. So the bottom just fell out of the business. But the PPP plan from the government helped. It gave us the confidence to keep the doors open and keep our people paid. And I mean, they were all interesting challenges to deal with through that. It really was. I mean, it wasn't fun, but it was invigorating, and it really. We talked last time about all the programs we do with our people, and to help them grow through work. And I remember one day, probably in late May, where it looked like we were coming out of it in pretty good shape, which we have. We've had pretty much of a V recovery, but in late May, I sat with our operations team. I said, "Hey guys, we've always wondered whether all this work we do to help our people grow through work, where's the payback for that?" And I think we just saw it for the last couple months and during COVID, that we lost very few people. We were able to keep everyone working for us. They responded with unbelievable care and compassion for each other. We've had 6 or 7 cases of COVID at stores where we had to shut down, send everybody home, sanitize the store, and bring a different crew in from other stores to open the store the next day. And that required a lot of overtime for people. It required a lot of working outside their comfort zones, and everyone responded. It's been very reaffirming to us.
If I'm not mistaken, Steve, I see that not only did you have an opportunity to reopen those 5 stores, but I think you have a new one coming online at 71st in Georgetown.
Yeah, I was there this morning. Since COVID, we opened one in Fishers up at exit 210 back in June, and then just last month we opened at 71st in Georgetown. So it was a closed Quick Lube. It was a competitor that we put out of business.
And now you have the building.
And now we went in and bought the building, and we did a total renovation. It's beautiful, and we're off to a good start there.
Well, I've watched it develop. As soon as I saw what was happening, I watched it develop, and you have turned that location and facility into an attractive location for customers. Jiffy Lube is on that particular location.
Yeah, we have high hopes for that area. They've had some issues out there. The day we opened, there was a shooting up at the gas station on the corner. So, I'm hoping that having a national chain like ours come into the area, beautify it. We've done some landscaping. The paint job made a huge difference. We still don't have our signage, and we should have the signage by Friday. But just breathing some fresh life into the area, we're excited about it. And with the Marsh closing down at 56th in Georgetown, we have a store down there as well. We felt like this site up at 71st makes sense now. We're doing brakes and tires and tune-ups and minor repairs there, so we think it'll be a great market for that. And I will tell you, the west side of town has been better than any other side of town during COVID. Our 38th and Moeller location has become the busiest store in the company.
Well, you got to understand, the west side is the best side.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know about
Jackson, you can come in on that one.
But certainly we have about 2 minutes left in this segment, Steve, and you all have done a lot with the arts community. And certainly we want to hear you speak to that and how COVID has impacted that. Certainly funding has been cut to a lot of the different non-essential, what's called or termed as non-essential activities. But Jiffy Lube is big on that. And you guys have done a lot throughout the city. When we come back from break, we'd like to hear more about how you guys plan to go forward with keeping the murals, the beautiful murals that you have been doing and we see throughout town, and how you're going to continue to do that. Stay with us. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices, and we're joined by Steve Sanner, owner, president, operator of Jiffy Lube, Indiana. And you all have some other locations in one of our neighboring states.
Yeah, we have two locations just across the border up in Chicago, one in Lansing and one in Calumet City, but the other 48 are all Indiana.
Wonderful. And we're glad to hear that most of them are still operating. As just before the break, Steve, we were talking about the wonderful contributions you all have made to the arts, Indiana, across Indianapolis. Talk about that and how you all move forward while we're surviving COVID-19.
It's been the arts project, the Jiffy Lube mural project has just been amazing in terms of it's one of those things. Yet we had a crazy idea and we just kept building on it and building on it and building on it. Next thing you know, we won a national award from the Americans for the Arts last year for this project. It started in Broad Ripple. We have a store at 64th and College that was getting tagged with graffiti. And I had a friend of mine, Susie Marshall, mentioned to me that there was an arts group in town that would paint murals over graffiti. And the graffiti artists would typically honor and respect the mural and not graffiti over that. And so we got with this group and we put together some plans. And the first 3 murals that we did, Broad Ripple was one of those. We crowd painted. So we had artists that would design a mural and they'd turn it into paint by numbers. And so we did one at a Luke Bryan concert. We did one in the parking lot of the Broad Ripple store, and we did one down at Indy Reid's bookstore. And they were pretty elementary, not very, they were paint by numbers by common people like us. But we loved the idea, we loved the response, and so we ended up getting with the Indianapolis Arts Council, and they have helped us take this program to a whole new level. We now have 18 murals. The 19th mural is going to be coming before the end of the year. We're hiring some of the top artists in Indianapolis. We've hired an artist, Ish from Hammond, Indiana. Our tour just did the store in Westfield. He's teaching up in South Bend now. So we've expanded outside of the city. We've done them in Fort Wayne and Kendallville this year. And it's been amazing to watch how it's affected the communities, how it's affected our own people. I had no idea that our people were into art. I mean, you don't think about the guys at Jiffy Lube being, art lovers. But whether it's tattoo design or vehicle graphics or just sketching pad, I mean, I go to stores now and, hey, Steve, hold on, I got to run out to the car and get my sketch pad. I want to show you what I've been drawing. It's so cool that we actually we cut a deal with the Arts Center in Indianapolis in Broad Ripple, where we put up some money to cover the cost of our people taking arts classes themselves. Not just them, but their spouses and their kids. If you work for Jiffy Lube, you can sign up for an art class and it comes out of the money that we've contributed, because the creativity that you learn in the arts can really help you in all aspects of your life. And we think that part of our growing people through work model, our reason for being at Jiffy Lube, founding principle was growing people through work, and exposing our people to the arts has really become a surprise to us, but very beneficial to them, and can't wait to see where we go next with this.
Go ahead, Brother Jackson. I'm sorry. I think that's phenomenal. I mean, because there's some young artists possibly that are out there that are getting an opportunity to exercise their talents with Jiffy Lube. How many young artists do you have working with you?
Well, quite a few. And in the arts program last year, we started an apprentice program with the artists. So if you look at the mural at 86th in Michigan, it's called Three Kings.
Yeah.
Ish, who's a very well-known artist out of Hammond, Indiana, came down, but to paint that. But we ended up finding 2 apprentices through the Indianapolis Arts Council who were looking for someone like Ish to mentor them. We paid the 2 apprentices. They got with Ish, and the 3 of them decided to do this Three Kings design, where Ish, the professional artist, did the one in the middle, and Matthew Cooper did the one to the right, and Jamal Crouch did the one to the left. And Jamal and Matthew have become are really building nice careers now. In fact, Matthew painted the three murals that are on the windows of the old City Hall building on Alabama. And he actually had his own apprentice help him with that. So our apprentice got his own apprentice, and we're growing artists through work through that program as well, which we helped fund Matthew's efforts downtown after the protests back in May, when we heard that Matthew wanted to there were a number of local artists that reached out to paint murals downtown, but when we heard Matthew was one of them, we stepped up and supported his efforts there, because he's become family to us at Jiffy Lube.
Okay.
Outstanding. How can people in our viewing audience help with the arts project, if at all?
Well, I mean, our arts project, I think we're fine. We're moving forward, and we have plans to continue. We've already picked 3 artists for next year in Indy, and we're going to pick a couple more in Northern Indiana. But I think in general, the arts are hurting right now. I know that the local arts community has struggled as much or more than the local restaurant community. And I think anything that any of us can do to support local artists, we will get back way more in return than the support that we give. I mean, we are blessed in Indianapolis to have an amazing group of local artists, and we don't always get credit for that. People don't always think of Indy as an arts community, but it really is. And the more we dove in with this project, the more we've realized that the Arts Council of Indianapolis is an incredible organization for the city. And if you don't know what else to do, you support them, and they'll take care of it. But I think corporate donations are going to be tough for the arts community, and for a lot of different reasons moving forward. So I think that anything we can do individually to help the arts community will make our own communities a better place.
What about employment opportunities at Jiffy Lube?
Well, during COVID, it got hard to find people. One of the cool things we did was we started an internship program. You used to have to be 18 years old to work at Jiffy Lube. There's a lot of kids, 16, 17, still in high school, who weren't doing anything this summer, hanging out, couldn't find jobs. So we started an internship program where we said we didn't want to have a bunch of high school kids working at Jiffy Lube. That's not the image that we want to send out. We have grown men, grown women who are highly trained to do the job the way we want it done. But we decided to start an internship program where we would bring one high school kid into each store, pay them $10 an hour, work within their school schedule, and train them. And the Jiffy Lube training program is so good nationally that you can actually earn up to 30 college credits towards an associate degree by finishing all the different modules within the Jiffy Lube training program. So it's really been a cool way to give some young people who, their only other options, they can pick up odd jobs or they can work fast food. They haven't been able to work in the automotive business because there are some rules about using certain types of equipment if you're not 18 years old, and being able to drive cars and those kinds of things. But we've worked out a way to allow one high school kid per store to come in, get some exposure. We have, if they want to get into the automotive business, I mean, we had our first manager ever made $100,000 last year. So you can have a really nice career in Jiffy Lube or any automotive business. You can make good money and have a good life. And so I want to expose that to some of these high school kids and give them another thing to think about.
Well, Steve, we thank you for your insight, your ideas, innovation, and what you and the Jiffy Lube family has done to make Indiana a great place to live, and being part of that Build It Better. All the best, to your continued success.
Yeah, thank you. Love what you guys do in the community as well.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
Dr. Moore, a wonderful segment there with Steve Sanner. You wouldn't think that there would be that kind of wonderful marriage or relationship between automotive and arts.
I think it's phenomenal. I mean, it creates on two fronts, employment, Jiffy Lube employment, and employment for the arts. And then there's another piece to that, the apprenticeship program. So it sounds like Steve is into creating job opportunities, whether it be with Jiffy Lube or whether it be with the arts or whether it be with our young people who are so tremendously devastated by the situations that they live in. And I think that's phenomenal to have an apprenticeship program inside of Jiffy Lube. You can become an entrepreneur if you have a desire to do so.
And with 48 stores, that's 48 young people, of course, in Indiana, which is really, really phenomenal.
And then 2 other stores across the border in Northern Illinois is phenomenal as well. And then to see that he's doing extremely well, I would like to say, than other businesses who are coming out of the COVID-19, especially that first wave of COVID-19. He's able to maintain his business, not lay off any employees. The 5 stores that he had, he reopened, and then he has another one opening up right there and on the west side, which is the best side.
And speaking of Dr. Moore, if we could very quickly thank our sponsors.
Yes, we want to thank our sponsors, Lee Crossell and Crawley, who's been with us, and then Fervent Care Christian Academy. If you need to get your child started, that's the place to get them started. Marion County Public Health Department, we want to thank them for combating COVID-19 for the last 8 months. And then we have Al's Modern Clothing and Shoes. Make sure you stop by and get cleaned up. Al can do that for you. Then the Martin University, one of our historical universities right here in the state of Indiana, as well as in Indianapolis. His place, if you get hungry, go by the eatery and make sure you get some chicken and waffles, ribs, and some seafood. It's there. And then Northwest is busy right now, cleaning gutters, Northwest window and gutter cleaning. Give them a call and they'll make sure they come out and give you a good estimate. Tell them we here at Real People, Real Voices sent you out.
And with that,
so long, everybody.